Good morning, everyone. My granddaughter came at 5 o'clock this morning and she found this on her way. Look at that. Look at that huge feather. While she was walking down to the bottom here. And it looks to me like, when I think of the birds that I've seen here, this looks like an egret feather to me. It's so huge. Look at the hugeness of this feather. And the color, because of the color, it looks like this was from an egret. They have lots of egrets here. So, wonderful birds too. Interesting birds. Loners, they seem. Loners as well. Anyway, so they have a lot of fires in Canada right now. I just saw that again. And on how it's affecting the United States, air quality, this and that. That reminded me of yesterday morning. My daughter and I, we were standing outside, and she says, "Mom, look, do you see the haze, all this?" And it was raining, right? I said, "Yes, that's all. This is what we're getting here in Kentucky from Canada. This is the residue smoke from Canada. It even has come here. Oh, now you're coming out, huh? Now you're coming out, huh? No, I started talking. I opened up her can. Oh, come over here. Come here. Here she is. You guys can't see her. Good morning. Look here, Coda. Look, yeah. Show your pretty face. Huh? Can you go out now? I'm sorry, guys. I gotta get this girl up real quick. Come on, let's go. Huh? Don't step over that. Oh, feet. Let's go. Go feet. Huh? Yeah. What are you doing? You going back in? What you got in your nose? Sneezing attack. Huh? Again, the amazing thing is, air quality is really affected in many different places. It wasn't here. The reason was because it was raining at the same time, kind of neutralizing all that coming in. And of course, it's not as bad here as other places. Still, I found that interesting. Another interesting video that I saw, and having owned goats, I can't resist watching goat videos. I miss our goats, I really do. Uh, they're amazing creatures. They're just so interesting. I never found that around sheep, and I grew up around sheep too. They're kind of boring. There's not much going on. Unless they start having babies, then that's the cute time, right? Huh? Is that right? Huh? Yeah. And where you going? Where you going? Where you want to go? Because I just want my pats this morning. See? It doesn't matter where I go. Yeah? These guys are all waiting for me. Huh? Yeah? And, but goats are, so sheep are kind of boring, and I don't know, it's just different type of animal, different character. But goats are the liveliest. They're always lively. It's just like it's like their own people or something. I found, and you have to. Just like with donkeys, you can't force a donkey, you can't force a goat. You can, but it's it's not if you know them well enough. There's no need to do that. There's one thing about goats that I found out. I had to find that out on my own. Is they don't like water. They don't. They just don't. And so, if they get a little ornery or something, then you just have a spray bottle and you go chip chip and they turn around. That's was one thing with Liam too, and I could tell, okay, buddy, you're so huge. Look at them horns, and you want to do what? I never played with. I played with even with the little ones. I'd pet them, but They never played with them. I didn't want them to think that people are. Yes, that people are just like the rest of them to play there with. Because goats have a certain way that they play that involves their forehead and not their horns, but their forehead. And they can stand just about straight up on their hind legs and then come down like this. Now, people think that's aggressive or whatever, and I'm sure if the need were to arise, yes, but in a just domestic environment where they're not in danger or whatever, it's just play. But it's a bad idea to play with a big old billy goat then that has horns and he still thinks he's a little dude or something, right? Yeah. But goats are incredibly intelligent, interesting animals to be around. And so useful. There is so much use for goats, but you got to know their temperament. And again, people get, I'll get a goat, to clear everything I don't want. And the goat comes and goes, yeah, I'll eat everything you don't want me to eat, right? And I'll leave the rest, right? Yes. And then the owners get frustrated. They're great escape artists, right? Especially if they see something greener on the other side. Aeon, aeon, and aeon. And so I saw a video, another one, that a guy has a lot of goats, hundreds of goats, and he uses them to go and clear brush as a fire line or something, and it's working. It's worked. He's very busy, and people really use those goats exactly for that. And the fire that he talked about, a fire just recently, that 65 acres that couldn't be stopped, they couldn't get it under control, but where the goats had made that fire line, it stopped. Yes, it stopped. Well, anyway, so interesting. So yes, we can't avoid certain things that nature just, okay, how many fires are started by just what again? There isn't an animal that will start a fire out of ignorance. But human beings, sure, on purpose, ignorant, start fires. Not necessarily, as I said, then again, not on purpose, yet just, you don't know when to not make a fire? You don't know when to or put it out properly? You just not getting that again, right? Yes, isn't their own safety also at stake? It comes down to, so, but there's some fires, they get started by natural causes, this, that, and what do? And yet, God, in a way, has that ready as well. Well, there you go. You got an animal. Perfect for prevention, especially. Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. Yeah. We're so ignorant of the help of God in so many ways. What we're being given, what we're given to us. All right. Well, there it is. is what it is. What can I say? That's why. I guess, too, every time I see something about Satan and goats or something, certain other things, too, just, just more ignorance. Why would anybody compare a goat to Satan or make Satan look like a goat or have that associated in any way? So it makes no sense. But there it is. And people get upset when I say, throw them astrology signs out. All that baloney, when you think, you can't attach that somehow to something spiritual or whatever. Throw it all out. It's all humbug. People get upset at me. Well, it's the truth. Yeah. Why not go and look for the real thing? Which is what? Okay. Well, anywho, it is what it is. People are how they are out there. Amazing we survive. The ignorance and all that other stuff out there. Well, I'm already starting well this morning, aren't I? All right, we are in Joshua 5. Terror of the peoples west of the Jordan. Oh, what I start out with? Oh, the feather. And then what? Yeah. Well, there you go. So many thousands of years ago. The terror was what? It's still the same. There isn't the thing out there in nature, amongst the animals, really, that's brings as much terror as people do. People. It's people you have to be afraid of. People who cause terror out there. Absolute terror, right? Isn't it true? Anyway. When all the kings of the Amorites living to westward across the Jordan, and all the kings of the Canaanites living on the seaboard heard that Yahweh had dried up the waters of the Jordan before the Israelites until they had crossed, their hearts failed and they lost all courage to resist the Israelites. See? No battle formation needed. No, yet. Just saying. Circumcision of the Hebrews at Gilgal. Okay, let's see what this is about. I think I know. Let's read this again. This story always, even as a child, I've heard this as a child, and I was old enough to know what that actually meant, and it was always one of those, what? How did that work? Why would they? What? At this time, Yahweh said to Joshua, make flint knives and circumcise the Israelites again, a second time. How the heck does one do that? I never heard of that. No, that's a new one. How the heck does a guy get circumcised twice? I should go read up on that so I know. Oh. Josh, oh, God. It hurts me just thinking about it. Joshua made flint. Looky here. What do I got here? A leaf. Gosh, how old is that? Look at that. First, if my granddaughter brings me a feather, then I'm finding a leaf right here and here. That's been dried for a long time, looks like. Can't remember. Why did I put that in here? Kind of looks like a flint knife, doesn't it? Oh, okay. Let's put you a little farther back here now. All right, nice. And circumcised the Israelites on the hill of foreskins. On the hill of foreskins. They named something after that. Oh, jeez. The reason why Joshua circumcised them was this. All the males of the people who had come out of Egypt of age to to bear arms had died in the desert on their journey after leaving Egypt. Now all the people who came out had been circumcised, but none of these born in the desert during the journey after leaving Egypt had been circumcised. Oh, oh, well, that's a new one. Oh, they didn't continue that. You see? Special circumstances require circumcision in men as a condition rather than a something that you just do now. I can't quite remember what we read all about that before, but I do know that. Is that right? For the Israelites walked the desert for 40 years until the whole nation had died out. That is, the men who had come out of Egypt of age to bear arms. They had not obeyed the voice of Yahweh, and Yahweh had sworn to them never to let them see the land which he had sworn to their ancestors that he would give us, a land flowing with milk and honey. But I thought they were also united with Moses. This, as I said, there you go. Write things down however you want to for one. What? That's why you read the whole Bible. That's why you can't just pull something out of the Bible and then say, well, here you go. And then I have to say, well, yeah, but what does it say beforehand or afterwards? Does it compute? Does it make sense? Was it always that way? Or are we just having a whole confusing thing going on here? Now, this suits you right now to whatever, but is it the truth? We find things to talk about, and we have some kind of a foundation for it, right? Yes, like part of the scripture. Yet, is it really a proper foundation then to talk about something? Or give a point? If then the before and the after doesn't compute with the point, then your foundation is not solid, then it's most likely just going to sicker into the sand and dry up. Yes? So, I don't know. Also, it's kind of, from what I understood, is it was Moses that just decided, well, I'm going to have to do this according to how this is going to work with the people rather than how God wants it. Right? Well, does that automatically then make every Israelite that came out of Egypt disobedient? Every one of them? Everybody had to go to collective sin. Well, too bad. Now you guys have to all suffer under it. Yes. So again, why? Why did they all? Sorry, you're not going. Interesting. Again, I don't know what all happened there, but did it really happen in the way it says here? I don't know. Let's just keep going. But in place of these he set their sons, and these were the ones whom Joshua circumcised. They were uncircumcised because they had not been circumcised during the journey. When the circumcising of the whole nation was finished, they stayed resting in the camp till they were well again. Yahweh then said to Joshua, "Today I have taken the shame of Egypt away from you." Hence the place has been called Gilgal ever since. Oh, interesting. So it was kind of a blood sacrifice that didn't require their life. Just what? Oh, okay. Interesting. Because what? Yes, life comes from what? Yes, in a man. Okay. The other thing, too, that I noticed here, says up here, the reason why Joshua circumcised them was this: all the males of the people who had come out of Egypt of age to bear arms had died in the desert on their journey after leaving Egypt. Now, does this also mean that the ones who could bear arms were circumcised when they came out of Egypt? Or was it all the baby boys, this and that? Because as I said, how cruel is that? Why would God require that? Right? Yes? Now it says here, the sons of the ones came to bear arms that came out. Well, wait a minute. Didn't they already have baby boys and stuff like that along too? And are those so some of the men that are grown older now were at the time when they came out of Egypt little guys? It doesn't say exactly. So again, interesting. To prepare them. For what? Uh, I can't even imagine the scene. How many? How many were there to be circumcised at that time? I mean, it had to be a lot of guys. And I think it doesn't talk about the babies here either. It talks about the grown men. Right? Yes. Oh, makes more sense to me anyway. Celebration of the Passover. The Israelites pitched their camp at Gilgal and kept the Passover there on the 14th day of the month, at evening in the plain of Jericho. On the very next day after the Passover, they ate what the land produced, unleavened bread and roasted ears of corn. Corn? How long had they been there already? Where did they get the corn? That isn't something that grows on the wayside. Hey, I'm not getting enough here. I wonder about stuff like that. Huh? I'm a farmer, I'm a rancher, all kinds of different things that I've experienced myself, and I'm going, huh. So again, I wonder how this reads to a city person who doesn't do any of that. Oh, it makes perfect sense. Oh, they had ears of corn. To me, how did they have ears of corn? How did they get that? How long had they already been there? Obviously, it wasn't just crossing the river of Jordan and then set up camp. So they were there for a number of years again as well. And then once they had settled in again, there's so many people. This isn't just a small little group of people that migrates from one place to the other, and the kind of things just go. This is a lot of people and moving people, a whole nation of a lot of people. So how long were they there? God prepared them again to move in somewhere. Right? How was he trying to prepare them? Okay. And again, okay, so how long were they there? And then Jericho, so on their way to Jericho, it sounds like. And was God, again, so they were there, stationed there. Obviously, they must have grown some food, some this or that. And now they have to pass over, and people are realizing, okay, it's getting to the time where we're going to start moving again. Towards what? But God went ahead of them, right? And did what? Okay, my people are coming. You people need to move out. What did they often find? Already ruins of towns, distant cities and stuff. But then all they needed to do is just kind of go in and, okay, rebuild. Oh, okay, that was easy. That was nice. Right? God prepared the path. God needed some time for that too. Again, I don't know. I wish this was better written down with a little bit more of something. But so many thousands of years ago, I guess we're lucky we got this. The manna stopped the day after they had eaten the produce of the land. The manna stopped. They were still getting manna. The Israelites, from that year onwards, ate the produce of Canaan and had no more manna. Oh. Well, they were complaining about that too anyway. The conquest of Jericho. Prelude. A theophany. A theophany. Theophany? A theophany. Huh. I wonder what the definition, I know what it means, but what's the definition exactly? Now, when Joshua was near Jericho, he looked up and saw a man standing in front of him, grasping a naked sword. A naked sword, guess without a sheath. Joshua walked towards him and said to him, "Are you on our side or on that of our enemies?" He replied, "On the other side." "I have come now as the captain of the army of Yahweh." Joshua fell on his face to the ground, worshipping him, and said, "What has my Lord to say to his servant?" Are you leaving?
Not yet. Just getting close.
Oh. I have two of them who are my little two going to the grandparents, the other grandparents.
I'll see you today.
Huh?
I'll see you today.
You're coming back today. Good. I'm happy to hear that. Have a nice day.
Okay.
I love you. God bless and protect you today and your little sis.
Okay.
Bye. "Are you on our side or that of our enemies?" He replied, on neither side. Oh, I got it. Okay, I didn't read this right. "On neither side. I have come now as the captain of the army of Yahweh." On neither side. He's on neither side. That man. That's interesting. And he's the captain of the army of Yahweh. Huh. Told you. Oh, there it is. Joshua fell on his face to the ground, worshipping him, and said, why would he worship him? What has my Lord to say to his servant? The captain of the army of Yahweh answered Joshua, take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy. And Joshua did so. A theophany. Guess that's a theophany. That's interesting. Oh, I could say a whole lot to this. What is the will of God? Is the will of God to destroy one people to keep another? Uh-huh. Capture of Jericho. Oh, that's tomorrow. Those are short ones. These are short ones. 6 is not that short anymore. Ooh, 7's a long one. Okay. All right. Let's see. Interesting. I'm on neither side. Huh. Told you. Right there. Now, interestingly enough, this one could just take this a theophany as a, well, that's just a fairy tale. That's kind of just a story. Yet I see more in that little short thing, paragraph, of God in it than I see in a lot of other stuff. For the place where you are take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy. And Joshua did so. Well, trying to keep people from fighting each other. It's got to be the hardest thing to do. The boys were playing ball yesterday. It was raining, so they played down here. The girls were painting. And at one point, they got into it over who got the ball or this or that. And both of them started to look at me and went, what, don't look at me. I have no idea what you guys are doing over there, right? You know what you've been doing. I said, I don't know. I can't. I wouldn't know how to rule this here right now. You were involved in all that. You should know what went on. You know what went on. So one of you guys, or both of you, right, are either not willing to admit that one took the ball from the other and fouled, or this or that, or I'm not sure. I have no idea what you guys are doing right now. Right? But you know, so you need to figure this out on your own. There's nothing I can do. Right? Now I'm not a part of this. You're a part of all that, right? And you should know. You're old enough to know if what you did right and what you did wrong. And they're like, oh, I couldn't be on neither side. It's impossible. Oh, how doesn't that go right along with? Could be on neither side. Yeah, here I am, the one with the authority, this and that, to choose, to judge, right? Yes. But I couldn't be on neither side because I didn't know. Right? I have no idea what went on between the two of you. I wasn't watching that closely. Besides, you're the ones playing the game. You should know the rules. You should know. Oh, yep. Right. So, and oh, it's interesting. Oh, okay. And within, I'd say, a couple of minutes, while they were still kind of, well, no, you did this and that, blah, 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 blah. First of all, it was also interesting. Russia, okay, now they're not playing ball anymore, right? They both love it, and now you're not doing what you actually love doing. You're bickering at each other for what? Absolute rules they both know quite well, and somehow they got in the way of each other, and now they're doing what? Instead of, okay, let's just forget about it. It happened, so let's just, right? Yes. A couple of minutes, though. I have to say, I was proud of them. A couple of minutes, and they were back at playing. But they did waste a couple of minutes. And they were back at playing, and there wasn't anything else happening. I thought, oh, how interesting. Of course, sometimes you have to let children figure things out on their own, but you give them a good reason why, right? So here, this man standing there, I'm assuming it was an angel sent from God to Joshua. And so, which side are you on? Joshua asks. He says, I'm on neither side. I'm not on neither side. All I want you to know is that the ground that you're standing on is holy. Okay, well, was it just that particular place? Or was Joshua being told, remember, who granted you earth? Right? And that everything around you belongs to God in a way, of course, given to us to take care of. But so if it's holy ground, what do they do? What do people do around special places that are that you worship at, or are considered holy ground? Right? What do people do? They respect it. They respect it very much and take good care of it, hopefully. Oh, so here, I want you to feel, take your sandals off. I want you to feel the earth underneath you. Yes? And remember, it's all holy. Oh. So what is this guy actually telling Joshua? Huh? You're going to have to work things out with another people. How are you going to do that? First, I'm going to let you know that's my stance. God's letting Joshua, this is my stance. Can't be on neither side, because it would do what? God doesn't break his own commandments, does he? Well, anyway, interesting little blurb there, I find, a theophany. Interesting on how I had this experience with the boys yesterday, watching them. On children can figure things out on their own when you remind them. You know the rules. Right? You know the rules. Who broke the rules now? Either of you? Both of you? Neither of you? But you're going to have to work this out on your own because I don't know. I don't know what exactly happened between the two of you, but you know. Yeah. I find it interesting with my own children. First of all, too, and how they are connected somehow. And when my oldest daughter moved to a different part of Kentucky, one after another of the children moved closer to her as well. Well, it says in the Bible eventually, right, as a man, you, I guess a woman too, you leave your household, right, you leave your parents and you start your own, right. So when my daughter did that with her husband, it was interesting. All of my children, though they weren't married, they started to move away as well, right along with her somehow, and they all ended up within a couple of hours from each other. Huh? It's much farther away from our homestead. All of them are much farther away from our homestead where their parents are, or I am most of the time. But when it comes to their where they all live, they're much closer together. I find that interesting. How they all, right, still as siblings, and they support each other. I have to say, very proud of them. Um, at the age that they are at now, yes, they help each other co-sign and things like that. The trust they have in each other like that, I find really, really interesting. Hello, my dear. Good morning. Looking for Abby's shoes. She's got probably about 7 pairs down
None of
here.
her shoes are upstairs, so I was like, well, they must be.
Do you want me to bring some of them up there?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, things are always busy. So, yep. So I watch my children too and how they, at their ages now, 3 of them are past 30 and one of them is mid-20s, on how they support each other and on how my youngest one just moved. Interesting story there. She had a place with a cousin, and the cousin now has another roommate. And for my daughter, my youngest one, kind of grew up. I don't want to say isolated, but she's a lot like me in that regard, where she likes her alone time, her quiet time. Then she's an artist, so okay. And it became a little too crowded for her, and she decided she wanted her own apartment now. So she's been looking, and interestingly enough, she's telling her sisters, not her brother, but her sisters, and they're all starting to look, helping her look. And I came up with one couple. She moved into the one. She did ended up going into the one. I thought, oh, this is a good place, and turned out that, oops, there were some things not disclosed, and it was no, no, and so now was looking again, found something else, and the whole process and how everybody was involved in all that, and how they support her. That's a big ordeal. Here, you move into one place, and you're going, oh, wait a minute, you never said anything about this, and now you got to move again a couple of weeks later, right? Okay. So they support each other in all this and help each other out and are there for each other and make it possible. Well, here's the youngest one who's still working on her credit, this, that, I don't know what, right? And her siblings make it possible for her, right, to get what is right for her, right, by, as I said, co-signing. And it was the same for their brother, right, who for the first time bought a car as something a little nicer, right, than the chunky cars that they all started out with. And again, okay, one of them was willing, so I'll co-sign for you. Really helped him out, and the trust that they all have with each other. Right? Oh, do they never have any problems? Of course they do, but they just like that. And I hear about it, and I go, well, I guess you guys gonna have to. You guys know the story all behind it. Be honest about it, and how this all really went. Then you fix it. And you got to fix this. And sometimes there were times where I had to tell one or the other, look, sounds to me like that the start of the problem was you. You are the one who needs to fix this. Fix it. Or, as oftentimes my oldest daughter had said, hey, you know what? You're the one who has to fix it. You're the oldest one. You're the lead horse in all this. So, and I just step back. Don't get involved, right? Yes, that's the best thing. Don't get involved. It's you lead more from the background now, right? Rather than when they were younger and you were the one up front, made sure everything ran right. Now they're living their own lives. You take a step back. Okay. And when the guidance is needed for them, be ready. Got to be ready as a parent still. Right? But when it comes to the way that they work together as siblings, very proud of them. I look at them and I'm very proud of them. How they solve certain things. How they help each other advance as well. Right? Yes. Oh, anyway, so there is that. Oh, I thought of something else too, and how does one adapt, right? Yes, to certain situations. At the farm, I'd say 75% of the time, I'm by myself. Right? Yes, I know, I can hardly get a 24-hour period where I'm really all by myself, right? Which I love. I would love a whole week just for myself. Okay, all right. A month, a year, no visitors. Okay, all right. Not quite true, right? And, but I spend a lot of time doing things on my own, by myself, with the animals, with my plants. And though I live with people, they're constantly coming and they're busy. They're always busy. I think there is rarely a day where they manage to stay home a whole day, right? And not go somewhere, even though we live away. Right? Gas is so expensive, this, that, I don't know what. Yeah? And they cannot stay put. And they're older people too. I mean, I'm the youngest one out of the three staying at the farm. They can't do it. It's like, what? Look at the comings and the goings. And for sometimes silly reasons, they have to, they can't, are not able, right, to stay home in isolation per se, that you can call, for one whole day. They find something. I need to go to town to get this, to get that. Okay. Go at it. And here I am for months and months. I never stepped foot outside of the homestead. Yeah. I mean the place. And then I come here, and it's 24/7 just about. Always around people, always around. Right? Yes, I've been I've been to baseball games, to soccer games. I've been, oh gosh, I haven't been to a restaurant to eat in years. And here I am sitting in a restaurant, about 15 TVs around me, and I'm going, wow, this is what this looks like now in places. Sitting in there and waiting for the food forever. Man, I could have cooked what we ordered in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay. We must have sat there for an hour waiting for our food. It was all right. It was not that great. But this is where the baseball boy wanted to go and eat afterwards. Anywho, so done more of that than I did in years at the farm. And I love it. I like this too, and I'm good. I'm good. Yes. All right. All right. Where would I rather be? Okay. But this is the situation right now. I just adapt. I'm like a chameleon. Oh, okay. Oh, there are different colors here, different goings-ons, and different things I need to do now. And I just go with the job. I go with my surroundings, and I try to make the best out of it. Every time. That's just who I am. But I thought about that, on how many things out in the world where people just aren't willing to adapt to certain things. Now, what do I bring with me though as well? Right? Of course, I bring my expertise in everything. I try to bring teachings. I try to, right? Yes, grow the garden. I showed one parent yesterday. No, day before yesterday. She says, "Oh my God, you started a garden with the children?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I love it. Oh, this is exactly what I want my boy to get involved in, and I love it." So I bring all these things with me, right, to teach children, right? And I guess it's good for the adults around it too, right? Yes, one would hope so. Are you letting me out do all the work? You could do this at your house too with your boy, right? I bring that with me. A different environment, yet I bring with me my expertise, my teachings, this and that, to enhance what? Everybody's life around me with good things. Yes? Yeah. Anyway, so that is that. And I think everybody can do that. Well, not everybody is the same. Well, in a way, we are. In certain ways, we should be absolutely the same. One thing, what do you think I'm coming with now? We all can follow the 10 Commandments. We can. If it's something new to people, practice. People get into new things all the time for a while. Trends, right? Okay, people got no problem with that. Let's make the 10 Commandments a trend then. That lasts forever. How's that? There you go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw one disturbing thing. I'll mention that here at the end again, where one just says something, done. And of course, now I can't. My little granddaughter loves to listen to music, and of course, I'll go find something for her. And so YouTube has, these children's songs, and a couple of things I wanted to mention there. Just alert people again. Now this is an alert, a warning. Beware, okay, what you support out there. Okay. Your children watch. So here she is. She's listening to the songs, and there's a commercial comes on, and I can't stop those. I don't have so well then. But this is a children's thing, okay? And I'm going to look, and it's a lesbian commercial. The heck's a lesbian commercial doing on an hour-long children's singing thing, okay? Now, can't they show this the kids cereals and whatever else is for children? That I mean, come on now, eh? Not enough commercials out there are proper for kids. No, on children's songs, little kids songs, okay? We're talking the bus on the wheels on the bus go round and round, and here is a lesbian commercial. What the heck is that? Oh, I went straight in. I said, not sure what this is, but what's a lesbian commercial doing on a YouTube video with children's songs? Well, guess what? Scratch. I'll never watch another one of them on YouTube. Done. Oh, I'm not done yet letting them know. I'll just begin. I gotta find the right outlet for it. Oh, besides that, I'm here just talking about it. Have no doubt Siri and Alexa and whichever AI. I sure hope this gets recorded. Now, this is a bunch of BS. I'm sorry to say it like that. God Almighty, what is that? And then they wanted to watch. Let's see, they watched some other thing from a also a children's movie. Children's movie. That one that's kind of out there right now. What was it? Let me think. I can't remember which one it was. Just one reason. And there is a singer, a woman. And I'm not going to name names because that's going to be conflict again here. I don't want to get sued. So. But for what? Defaming someone or just telling the truth? And here she is. This is a children's song, and she's got this suit on that's as tight as can be. It's absolutely inappropriate. As famous as this woman is, singing this and that to children, a children's song, and then here's the little videos that go with it, and the kids. I'm watching, and the kind of the her way of how she expresses herself is not for children, it's for adults. The suggestive, I'm going, don't sing a children's song that children then watch the video with you in it, right? Which I don't know why she has to be seen, just because she's singing. What does that have to do with it? Then show little clips of the movie or whatever, right? On the video as a music video. Here she's in. And I'm going, what is this? Why is this woman singing like this in this absolutely, yes, again, sexualized way on a children's song? Has nothing to do with sex. And in the way she was dressed as well. And I'm going, what is this? Doesn't anybody pay attention? And what kind of people are these singers on a children's song? Don't sing a children's song if you don't know how to engage children in a song like that, if it's a video, properly. Am I the only one who notices things like that? I tell you what, I said, and here's the thing. The boys were watching. Very interested. 7-year-old boys, very interested. I looked at them and go, hey, wait a minute, guy. That's not what it looked like. With the other songs, it wasn't like this. Only when this one came on, because that one woman was singing that song. I said, yeah, we're done with that. But again, in a way, it's already. Okay, you know what? I can trust myself. I can trust that I know what's best for these children. You cannot trust these people out there making the movies, then these music videos. You cannot trust them. You can't. So, lesson learned. You cannot just expect. Though you would. That's it. videos with God and Jesus, the Ten Commandments, good guidance, this and that. Absolutely, they have no problem on censoring stuff like that. No problem. No problem. But when it comes to stuff like that, that also kind of slips through. Yes? That slips through. Interesting. Slips through. Yeah, good one. So, yeah. Sorry, my little granddaughter now. Yeah. We can only watch that on their TV now, where there are no commercials, right? Yes. I said this was this was not an adult site or whatever, or where, oh, it's not for kids. This was for kids. Lesbian commercial. Then this music video, supposed to be for children. It was I think it was on a soundtrack. And here's that video, and this woman in it just, what the heck you doing on a children's song? And how are you dressed? Huh? Awful. Just awful. Well, anyway, as parents, grandparents, we got to be extra vigilant. You said, well, this wasn't the big thing, or this. No, well, I caught it. I saw it. I caught it. I'm learning from it. Yes, I have to. I have to be so vigilant out there, right, for stuff like that. Then things that children should be seeing, should be exposed to, should be learning from, that all gets banned. That all gets censored. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I've experienced it too many times now. It's absolutely true. So, I hope all them programmed AIs out there record things like this and send the memo to where it needs to go. Yep, I think it's okay to call them out. I think it's okay to not support stuff like that anymore. I think it's just fine. We should. It is for the safety of our children. Not just physical, psychological. Our children do not deserve that. That kind of confusion. Yes? And that, the direction that these things go. That they're so, it's out there. Children are interested in what? It's good. There's good movies out there. There's that, and then they throw this in. For what reason? Just destroyed the whole movie. Done. Nope. Done. Okay. I hope more parents will just say no. Just like we say no to certain other things, and then stores are financially suddenly, I don't know if they really such dire straits or whatever, but yeah, it's working, so unbelievable. But maybe I need to see things like that, right? So I can alert and on how we have to work this out ourselves amongst each other there too. Yes. Okay. Well, I had my say here. Yeah. Oh, that made me mad yesterday. Boy, that I dear me, literally cannot trust. You literally cannot trust anything out there anymore when it comes to cyberspace per se. Don't know what the truth is anymore. Right? You see certain things, I go and check it, I'm going, well, I can't find this, can't find that, I can't substantiate that, there's no foundation for this one. And both, left and right, it doesn't matter, right? Or in the middle. It's just yeah, just get along. Can you guys figure out what the truth is? Just like with those boys. They figured it out. Children can figure it out. Well, again, why? because when they're given good guidance, their purity, their sense of right and wrong is still there, naturally. Children can do it, and adults should be able to do it for sure. I have a mission today. I have a little extra time. I'm only having 2 children today. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, talked enough, more or less, just to myself. All right, I'm going to end with that. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you. May He protect you. May He protect you so you may protect the children out there from absolute nonsense. Like I just told you, these commercials on children's songs. Are you serious? Huh? And then singers, women and men, who want to sing a children's song. Are you being paid enough? And then act so despicable in a music video. Huh? The heck's wrong with them? A lot, I guess. Well, anyway, that's it. May He protect you as you protect the children out there that you're around. Yeah, I'm still learning, obviously, myself, right? Yes? I only need to be told once, though. That's it. And I will talk to you another time.